Leave. Hello. We're live. Hey, how's it going? Pretty cool, huh? Interesting, all that stuff. Um, I'm going to share with you something pretty simple. Get to the basics of the gospel. Basics. Simple basics. Simple ideas. Again, it's not for you to join a church. That's not what it's about. Right back. It's not for you to change your life. It's not about you, quitting wrong and doing right. It's not what it's about. I know a lot of religious scholars, a lot of religious bags of hot air will be mad at me for saying this, but I know this to be true. It's not about you doing better, okay? That's the truth. What do I mean by that? Okay. Let's say, I've never had this happen, but let's say one of you went and had a child or a relative, brother, sister, close, whatever, and they had a impairment. Let's say they were born without arms. No matter what, even though everybody else has arms, you wouldn't throw a football with them. And it's not because you're like, well, no, you understand they're lacking in something. Let's say they were born without arms and legs. Really getting intense now. I've seen people cut hair with their feet because they didn't have arms. But let's take both. What I'm saying is there's an impairment that's going on. But your love, your wanting for them to be okay is not depicted on anything. You have an understanding, okay? You don't put them in a category unless, you're cruel, but you don't put them in a category. You don't try to make them better. You don't see what I'm saying? Again, it's not about you doing better. It's not about you doing good. This is what it's about, okay? Now, I could go through and tell you all the religions are on this earth, you know, like they have a powwow going on. That's a certain form of religion. Nothing against it. And not saying it's bad or good, not saying if it's right or wrong, but it's a religion. It's a belief system. And so we were conditioned because we grew up around church. We were around church. We are influenced by church. The whole world is. I'm going to give you an idea. Schooling came from the church. Hospitals came from the church. So whether you like it or not, anytime you visit a hospital, you're indulging in something that came from the church. Period. Okay. So, give me a second here. That's not what it's about. Again, it's not about you doing better. It's not about you becoming a Christian. It's not about you going to church. None of that stuff, okay? Okay, whatever religion it is, whether it be Buddhism, no matter what you believe, we all go to the cemetery. I've seen some Buddhist cemeteries and they got Buddha in there, but they're still underground. There's still a marker for them. Same scenario. Doesn't matter what kind of coffin you're in, you're still going in the ground. And that's the idea of it. Now, here's the scary part that I'm going to give you, because most of us don't think of that. We don't think, what if I died today? What if I died? Nobody ever thinks of that. Who wants to think of that, right? Who wants to even indulge in that? Nobody. But I'm going to share something with you real quick that you don't realize. When you go to sleep at night, some of you can't sleep, you know. But when you go to sleep and you're in your REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, meaning a deep sleep, you're so vulnerable at that time. Anything can happen to you. I'm telling you, any one of us. And I don't know if you ever seen someone in a deep sleep, but when you see someone in a deep sleep, they look like they're dead. That's the truth. It's like you're already practicing for the cemetery. And if you think about it, You sleep a third of your life away. So if you lived for 30 years, you slept 10 years. If you lived 90 years, you slept for 30 years. Hello. So it's like you're already practicing for the cemetery. Hello. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just giving you what's up. Okay. And like I said, it's not about right or wrong. It's not about joining a church. It's not about becoming Christian or Catholic or Protestant or any of those things. And I'm going to tell you right now, atheism is a religion. Atheism, being an atheist is also a religion. It is. It's the belief in no God. They believe there is no God. There's a belief. There's a religion. And they counter each other. They try to counter, people that believe in God, a deity, if you will. It's not about that either. So someone asked me one time, and I'm just going to share with you. I'm just going to basically share with you a little bit. Someone said, why do you believe what you believe? Why is that? Well, let me give you an idea. And I think I've shared this before, but I'm going to do it again. Many of you, and I don't say this increment or this amount, but many of you function by this. Yeah, you do. You say, Charles, you do too. I do not. I'm sorry, I do not. My knowing is this. Watch. How much did that cost? There you go. That's where I begin from. But many of you, without this, you go nuts. Let's put another 0 on this 10. Without this, many of you go crazy. Many of you have your word because of this. Many of you have your friends because of this. Many of you, and you're still miserable. Think about it. Sad. But if you take a look at this, you know what this is called? It's called a promissory note. A promissory note. Federal Reserve note. But it's a promissory note. Meaning somewhere there's a piece of gold that backs this. Not anymore, though. Not anymore. Not now. Now it's the sweat of the working man that backs this. It's the backs of the generations of people that are going to come out. Legalize slavery, I'll say it straight up. You don't want to believe that, but it's true. And so, functioning by this promissory note, functioning by this piece of paper with a dead guy's face on it, portraits of dead guys, green portraits of dead guys. Anyway, so you see that. And that's what that is. Okay. Promises. All right. So every belief system under the sun, I don't care what belief system it is. It doesn't matter what belief system it is. Everybody goes to the grave. Now let me give this to you. Okay. With Buddhists, Buddha is in the grave. That's it. With Muslims, Muhammad is in the grave. Nothing against Muhammad, nothing against Muslims. Just saying Muhammad is in the grave. Period. With most religions, their leaders are in the grave. The Hail Bob comic guy, they're all in the grave. Koresh, they're all in the grave. Jim Jones, they're all in the grave. And it reminds me, and it's crazy how that is, how the people that are following Trump, Donald Trump, remind me of Jim Jones. You could hear the screams of the children as their parents killed them. Which, that doesn't shock me though. Humans will follow anything. They will. Okay, going back to this now. So we're all going to meet the cemetery. That's just no matter what. And most of us, which is really, really sad, are living a dead life while we're still alive. We're dead while we're alive. That's scary. Scary. dead while we're alive. That's heavy. And I know some of you want to, I know you. No, you don't. You really, really don't. I'm going to show you how some of you don't know me. What's my favorite color? What's my favorite movie? You know, I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to any of that stuff. There's only one person on this earth that knew me. Okay? God knows me. The one in heaven for sure knows me. What size shoes do I wear? What's my favorite kind of soup? See what I mean? What's my favorite food? What I eat for breakfast? How many scoops of sugar do I put in my coffee? There's only one person that knew that. What I'm getting to you is this. Don't base what I'm sharing with you on me. These are all facts, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. These are all facts. I'm just dealing with somebody asking me this question. Charles, why do you believe what you believe? Okay. And like I said, please, not trying to get you to be a part of a ministry, not trying to get you to go to church, not trying to get you to live your crazy, stop living your crazy life, not trying to get you to do better, not trying to any of that stuff. I'm just going to, if you will, share with you a promise. Okay. Now, if you listen to the videos, you'll see where I started with belief and then to faith and then to, of course, righteousness is in there and then to grace. I'm going to get to the nutshell of it. Really, really beginnings of it. Okay. I might use a Bible. I think I have one here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Here it is. It's found in the book of John, chapter 11. Now, I'm going to get to why I believe what I believe. Okay. And like I said, I'm not telling you to believe what I believe. I'm not telling you you better do this or else. I'm not telling you if you believe it, you'll go to heaven. If you don't, you go to hell. That has no factor in what I'm sharing with you. But if I care about humankind, if I care about my neighbor, if I care about my brother, if I care about my fellow mankind, I got to share this promise. I have to. It'd be irresponsible it would be irresponsible of me not to. Okay. So I'm gonna start in 11:1 of John. Now a certain man was sick. A certain man was sick. Okay. You know, people have a lot of definitions for that word. I remember I was reading in the news about a gentleman who was with this girl. She was 11, and he's teaching her how to ride horses. He actually went to the Olympics for horse riding, equestrian, they call it. So he's showing her. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 passes. And he tells her, I want to be with you. She's 16, he's 62, something like that. That term comes into mind. Sick. The guy that was the Olympic doctor, and he's touching all these girls sexually, you know, and they got to put up with it because he's the doctor and he knows what he's doing. Sick. Okay. So we could actually go and give many, many defining moments to the word sick. S-I-C-K. Oh, that's sick. Oh, that's gross. All that stuff. And every one of us has this condition. Oh, I'm going to tell you that right now. Because just think if somebody could look at your heart and see it for what it really is, your mind, what it really is. I'm going to tell you that. We can try to cover, we can try to hide, but come on. Well, I'm going to share this with you. Yes, God knows what your mind says. God knows what your heart says 100%. No matter how much we try to cover it and hide it, He knows, period. You know what's worse than that? We know. So that's two witnesses against ourselves right there. Hello. This man is sick. named Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Martha which anointed the Lord with ointment. No, excuse me. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with anointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. Any one of us, if we have children and we love them, any one of us would go and in a heartbeat help them if they needed it, no matter what. We'd get there to them. So when these ladies come to Jesus, their idea, their expectation, all that stuff is for him to immediately, because he loves them, to immediately drop what he's doing and head over there. I remember one time, I always told people by God's grace, what would it profit if we prayed for your hand if it's all messed up and then you use it to hit somebody with? What's the use? When Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death. Now, he's not saying, well, he's not going to die from it. What he's saying is, it's not about death. This sickness is not about death. I got to plug my computer in. Sorry about the delay. I hope it reaches. If not, let's see here. It's not about death. Oh, gee. I got to plug it in somewhere else. Give me a second, guys. I don't want it to go off. Give me a second here. Oh, come on. Come on, door. There we go. Okay. This sickness, it's not about death. It's got nothing to do with it. Nothing about death. Here we go. Plug it in the computer now. Hopefully it doesn't go up before I get it in there. Okay, there it is. In other words, what he's saying is it's got nothing to do with that, folks. Nothing to do with it. And the reason being is that we all know people die daily. Somebody just died. Somebody just died. 2 people just died. 3 people just died. 4 people just died. 10 people. Come on. It's on thing. The other side of that, somebody just got born. 2 people just got born. Another person just got. Come on. But let's talk about who are listening and who we are right now. It ain't about death. That's not what it's about. At all. This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, and the Son of God might be glorified thereby. In other words, and this is it right here, folks. It's all about God's glory. See, I know. On the earth, here's glory. You know, you're down underdog, and there's a bigger team that's better than you, and this is our scenario of it. You know, like David and Goliath. You know, you're going to go through this, and as soon as you get to the other side and you win, man, that's glory. That's not what it's talking about. That is not what it's talking about. On our end, we have a problem. We come up with a solution. The problem's fixed. That's our thing. With God, there's none of that. It's none of that. Period. I can't be more clearer than that. God is not a God like we like to think. Here comes a problem. I better go to him. Oh, wow. He's going to answer me. And God's in heaven going, I can't wait till they ask me so I can do something and prove who I am. Baloney. It's all taken care of already. All of it. Really. It is all taken care of already. All of it. Jesus is basically saying, I don't even have to go over there. I'm going to go over there because I'm with you guys. And I'm partaking. I'm basically indulging, if you will, into what it is to be you. Watch. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. When he had heard therefore that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. Wow. He didn't even go. How many times have you prayed for something and it took a minute, took a while? Come on. And of course, the mindset says, well, maybe you're not asking right. Maybe you're not in the right mind. Maybe you don't have enough faith, all that junk. That's what the idea says. Right? That way you don't get offended. Right? Just water. Right? Lord, why don't you answer me? Now you'll hear this from people. The Lord sometimes says yes, sometimes He says no, and sometimes He says wait. That's a lie from hell. God never says no to you, ever, ever. I can prove it in Scripture. Give me a second. So this guy, they're expecting him. Now let's look at their end. Let's look at their end. Let's look at where they're at. Did you call for him? I called for him. Why ain't he here yet? I don't know. I don't know why he's not here. He loves Lazarus. He loves you. He loves me. Where is he? Huh. I don't know. First day passes. Second day. Well, he'll be here tomorrow. He'll be here. He's probably just, doing some other stuff for other people. He'll be here. Second day comes. Nothing. Darn it. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Lazarus is getting sicker and sicker and sicker. I'm dealing with the promise, remember? Then after that saith he to his disciples, let us go into Judea again. His disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in a day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. These things said he, and after that he saith unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go, that I may wake him out of sleep. Then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Jesus spoke of his death, and they thought he had spoken of taking a rest in sleep. Then said Jesus unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead. See, now he's speaking spiritually, and then he's speaking for their benefit. Because to God, that's all it is sleep. There's nothing he can't do. For us, it's an ending. For us, it's over. For us, it's done. That's nothing to God. And I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Now let me read that again. And I am glad for your sakes I was not there. For your sakes, I'm glad I wasn't there. It's heavy, man. Because we function by that. Gimme, 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 gimme. That's how we function. Gimme, 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 gimme. Prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. Gimme, 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 gimme. Prove it, prove it, prove it. Gimme, gimme. That's how we function. But he's going to show us. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, Let us go also that we may die with him. Then when Jesus came, he found that he had laying in the grave 4 days already. 4 days. Dead. 4 days. What took you so long, man? What are you doing here now? We asked you to do it when he was yet alive and he was sick, and now he's gone, and you should have been here. You should have been here. We asked you. We asked you a while ago. You didn't show up. It's over. What's the use? Now Bethany was nigh to Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off, and many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary sat still in the house, waiting. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. Right away. You know, God, you know a lot, God. You're pretty good at knowing stuff. You're the Almighty, but you know some stuff you messed up on. Basically, that's what they're saying. Oh, I get that. I get that. There's nothing you can't do, but you know this one you kind of messed up a little bit. But I know now I'm getting to the promise. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Now, here's what's a funny thing. That is the norm for religious people. That's the norm. If you went up to someone that you love and say, well, I love you, but I hate you too, they cancel each other out. Jesus said unto her, thy brother shall rise again. Now here comes more religion. Your brother shall rise again. Your brother shall rise again. Martha said unto him, I know. Right there. Remember? I know that God will give it thee whatever you ask of him. I know he will. Watch this. In the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection. I am hello? I am. And the life. He that believeth on me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Whoa. Whoa. And for us natives, Geronimo's in the ground, Red Cloud's in the ground, Chief Joseph's in the ground, even that dude that's supposed to be whatever, he's in the ground. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Let me read that again. Whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Now here's the thing. That's a promise. No one has ever promised that. They tell you what's going to happen after it. They tell you what might happen after this. He's the only one that said, I got this and that covered. Here and there. Whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Believest thou this? There's your promise. That's what I bank everything on. That's why I believe what it says here. See? Because that's taken care of too. Not only is this taken care of, but that's taken care of. And that's where my hope lies. My hope doesn't lie in being a Christian. My hope doesn't lie in going to church. My hope doesn't lie in not hanging out anymore. My hope doesn't lie in doing things I shouldn't do. My hope doesn't, none of that. But that promise right there. And again, I'm going to share this with you. If anybody deserves to be in a place that's not good, it's me. If anybody deserves to be outcasted, that's me. If anybody deserves to be thrown away, that's me. Period. I'll say it straight up. But he doesn't do that. Thank God for that. That's why it says he justifies the ungodly. And I'm as ungodly as you can get. She saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God. There it is right there. Remember we were dealing with that? See, and that's what everything's based on. Which should come into the world. Hello? That's what it is. That's all it is. That promise right there. Whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. So ask yourself, see what I'm saying? Now, if you got a better way, please share with me. If you got something, now this is why I love it too. Because not only did he say that, but he did it. Because all those people I mentioned before, they're in the grave. He's not. He just didn't say it. He backed it up by doing it. And that's where faith comes in, see? Because everybody, I don't care who is here today, they're basing everything on what they can't see. True enough. And that's why I believe in him. Because he's the only one that gave that promise. Whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. That's what I wanted to share. It's only half an hour long, but hey, God bless. We'll talk to you later.